As an American, some foreign foods scare the heck out of me. What foods from the US scare people outside? I know Italians are disgusted by the taste of root beer. A friend of mine told me it tasted like turpentine. I tried to tell him about the magic of root beer floats, but he wasn't interested. Honestly, America has gone to war over less. I was working with some Chinese people and offered them some chili and it freaked them out. One person told me that Chinese don't eat things like that. Probably because it looks like diarrhea. My foreign friends find peanut butter vile. Their general complaint is that food here is either too salty, sweet, or mushy. My first anthropology professor did work with the Angora boycon in Papua New Guinea. He told us a story about their first reaction to peanut butter. Apparently they wouldn't even taste it, and found it supremely disgusting. When he asked why, they told him it looked like baby feces. Not long after I graduated from college, two women who were pharmacists in Africa, can't remember the country, came to work with my boss for a month to learn how to manage a drug formulary. The thing that seemed to gross them out the most were sandwiches. I don't know why, but they refused to eat sandwiches and acted like sandwiches were disgusting. I discovered, when an English friend of ours visited, that they think root beer is the most horrible thing on earth, and something only us filthy Americans drink. All the Russians I know compare the taste of root beer to some cough syrup they consumed in their childhood. As a result, most of them resent root beer. Till there is bacon I could have been putting on my grilled cheese before dipping it in Velveeta canned cheese, wrapping with a pounded pork chop, beer battering, and deep frying. Oh my god, that sounds so good. An Aussie friend of mine visited the US. I asked him what the biggest food differences were, and he looked at his plate, with cheese-topped mashed potatoes, and his broccoli that had cheese sprinkled on it, and told me that apparently we put cheese on everything. Thinking about it, he's right, we do, and most of the time it's not even delicious cheese like a good sharp cheddar, or brie, or Havarti, or feta. This will probably never get seen, but my German host family was completely nonplussed by the idea of pumpkin pie. My host mom was all, a pie, made of a gut. They really liked chocolate chip cookies, though. I'm Canadian, and I'm not sure how much it has caught on further afar, but the latest gross tradition is the McGangbang. One makes it by 1. Buy a McDouble and a junior chicken from McDonald's. 2. Split said McDouble in 2, so each side has some sauce, some bread, and a patty. 3. Place the junior chicken in the middle of the McDouble. 4. Close and eat. 5. 6. Quadruple bypass. It's loved by high school students as it costs $3.11 with tax total. Is incredibly delicious. Probably like the double down might be, although I've never tried one. And very filling. Edit. I accidentally a space and a letter. I love the McGangbang. It costs $2.14. It actually leaves you feeling full despite only spending $2 and it's so delicious. Although after you're done you have 800 calories sitting in your gut. When I was traveling, people found the idea of American pancakes very strange. They consider pancakes a dessert, not a breakfast, and their dessert pancakes aren't as sweet as our breakfast pancakes, either. They don't really have pancake syrup. When I was making pancakes for my friend in Finland, it took a while to find pancake syrup. Finally we found it in the American section of one of the larger supermarkets. This is what I always thought. You're basically eating a dessert for breakfast, and then pouring sugar on it. My family in Hong Kong hates salsa. My parents took them to a Mexican place to try burritos for the first time and my aunt flipped out when my mom poured her some salsa. Said it smelled like armpits. That being said, I don't like salsa either. Not sure if it's a Chinese thing, though. Bean dip is where it's at. Chitlins. WTF. I grew up where apparently this was something my family enjoyed. Who enjoys something that smells like crap? Only if they are not cleaned properly. Did the downvote police hit this thread? How come so many people's posts are in the negative? The whole point of this is to hear opinions. You by nature can't be wrong. You can insult my religious beliefs, my political stance, my nationality, my looks and my hobbies, but don't you freaking dare insult my food. When I was in France, the people I stayed with were disgusted by the idea of eating eggs for breakfast. Too salty apparently. They also couldn't comprehend the idea of eating pasta with garlic bread. Too many carbs in one meal. Sweet tea. It doesn't scare me per se, but nearly killed me with how massively sweet it was. I overestimated the South and their approximation of sweet. I refuse to believe there is actual tea in sweet tea. I'm confident it's just liquid sugar. A foreign exchange student I hosted was disgusted by the idea of beef jerky, also the green chili hot sauce made by Tabasco. Canadian here, but I'm told that we have a lot of flavors here, especially chip flavors. Ketchup, salt and vinegar, cheese flavored, not Doritos, actually cheddar, probably a few others that I haven't thought of. The best part of America, in my book, is that everything in this thread is potentially wrong. Yes, a ton of food has HFCS and sugar and crap, but then every decent city has a fantastic farmer's market with certified organic food. Most of Europe can't even compete with the standards, some of the organic restrictions. Yes, there's a lot of chain stores, but there are also a ton of local restaurants in most big cities, and in the PNW, we have a huge focus on local food, and a big player in the slow food movement. You can complain about the homogeneity and chain stores, but then think of it. Within 5 miles of where I am, there is American food, hamburgers, hot dogs, Subway, etc. Oysters harvested this morning, sushi from salmon caught just this morning, fresh crabs and clams, Thai food, Chinese food, Japanese food, Taiwanese food, Indian food, Pakistani food, Ethiopian food, Moroccan food, Russian food, Swedish food, Texas barbecue, St. Louis barbecue, New York style deli, Chicago style pizza, multiple salad bars, French bakeries and restaurants, etc. Any food you want is at your fingertips. Complain about our chocolate? Oh, you picked on Hershey's. How quaint. Try Theo's, or Salazan, or Ghirardelli, or Franz. And much like your personal favorite chocolate, these aren't widely distributed. We have better chocolate than anybody else. And you know what? If that's not good enough for your precious little cacao receptors, you can just find a boutique chocolate shop that imports chocolates from all over the world. Complain about chain restaurants not cooking too much fresh food, or reheating food? Well, this is fricking America. Go vote with your dollars. Stop eating there. Yes, you'll pay more for fresh food that's prepared to order, but it's worth it. A good chunk of the best restaurants in the world are in this country. If you can't find fresh good enough food, that's your problem, not America's. Trust me, I've found some real crap in France and Italy. Think we eat too much? I've seen England outside of London. I've seen France outside of Paris. I've seen Italy outside of Rome, Florence, Milan. I've seen Canada. Let's not pretend that other countries have no obesity problem. If you get to cherry pick the locations of extreme obesity here, it's only fair turnabout. I believe this is true for any Western globalized city. The range of foods. Peanut butter. Only Americans love peanut butter. American living in Italy here. It's true that Europe has no love for peanut butter. I have only been able to find one single brand of peanut butter at the grocery store here and it sucks. They do, however, have at least 20 different flavors of jelly that would be so delicious to try with some goddamn peanut butter. Obviously the bright yellow cheese. But does anyone else find American eggs weird? They're so white, like the shell is so white, as if it's from some intense 20th generation caged bird, and the yolk is such a light yellow. I don't know why, but it's just what I noticed when I went to the States, and I always notice it on TV shows, etc. In Australia I generally find the eggshells a more light brown color and the yolk more darker yellow, as if the egg is a more healthier version. There are brown eggs sold, so you could have that more natural look. I think people just like the idea of it looking cleaner. It doesn't have much to do with being caged. It is how they are bred. While I'm completely certain, I believe you can tell the color of the egg by the chicken's feathers. Tennessean here. Lots of people around here eat pork brains and cow testicles, aka Rocky Mountain oysters, and of course intestines and other things. I'm personally a huge fan of liver and gizzard. The US totally has people who eat strange things. I don't know about disgusting, but my foreign roommates all think eating yogurt with cereal is strange and hilarious. They also think Kraft Dinner, cheap mac and cheese if KD doesn't exist outside of Canada, is gross. Most of American fruit candy because they taste very artificial, especially Tootsie Dots, texture like plastic and smells of solvents. All of your weak butt candy. You walk into a Scandinavian candy store and then tell me that American candy tastes good. For your information, your licorice tastes like butt. How can you eat it? And then you complain that gingerbread is too strong. Weak. No one eats licorice. American here. I can't stand pig's feet. It has one of the worst smells and it tastes like crap. Also, I'm not a big fan of cheese too much. Cheddar is way too cheesy. I cannot stand the taste of it. Though on potato chips or pizza it's fine. But in a cold sub, frick no. I like provolone, Swiss and mozzarella. I use puppy treat in a can to keep puppies occupied while they get their shots. No matter if it is chicken, liver, or peanut butter flavored, it always smells exactly like cheese in a can. Which is best eating on Cheez-Its. I'm Australian and I've gotta say those huge butt fricking hot dogs. All those toppings make my skin crawl. Ooh. One thing that tends to scare most people I know is bacon on the breakfast, although I wouldn't mind having it every day. After reading all of the things people hate, I'll tell you that I have still never tasted Nutella. There has been a jar in my cabinet for about a year now. Imitation cheese. I live in China and here they have banana flavored cheese as well as chocolate flavored cheese. Seriously. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.